Hey guys, and welcome to my study leave study with me. So right now I'm finally on study leave for my GCSEs. They start on Wednesday with English language, and the day I filmed this was Friday, so I have a few days to go, so I'm just getting in that last minute revision before my exams start. So the first thing I'm doing here is just some biology. I'm doing human influences, which is actually the worst topic ever. So I just have some Quizlet flashcards and I'm typing out the answers as usual. This is my main revision strategy, so I'm just doing that for biology. Then I did an English literature essay plan on my novel for one of the characters of my novel called Keith. The novel I'm studying is Spies by Michael Frayn, which I don't think it's a very popular book for GCSE. I don't really know many people that do it. Loads of people do, obviously, an inspector calls and all that. I've never done that, but I'm doing spies. But anyway, I'm doing some notes on one of the characters, and I've made a few videos before on how I make notes on my iPad, so I'll leave that down in the description if you want to check that out. After my English, I'm doing some Greek language. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just making some notes on some grammar points, because with Greek there's just so many different grammar points. So I'm just making some notes using, the textbook and my iPad. Then after that, what I did is I went and practiced translating some stories, basically, just get some practice at translating. Then I did some physics on Quizlet, and I'm actually really proud of myself. I just realised, because solids, liquids and gases is one of my worst topics just because it's so boring, and so I managed to do some of my worst topics in biology and my worst topics in physics today, so that was good. I never really realised I was doing that when I was planning, but just watching it back I've realised that. So I'm just doing some physics, density, solid liquids and gases, all that boring stuff. And then it was time for some drama practice questions under time conditions. So for the section B of my drama exam, I have to write about a set text, 39 steps for me, and I had to answer these questions in an hour. So I just sat down and timed myself for an hour and did these questions, and I did alright on them. Probably not the best, but I don't know, I'm not too stressed for drama because my coursework went alright. I mean, obviously I will revise loads for it, but I don't know, it's a weird one. But anyway, yeah, I just did an hour of these questions and they were kind of okay, but not the best I've ever written. Then for some Greek literature, so basically for Greek literature, as I always say, along with Latin literature, I just have to learn all my translations off by heart and learn all my analysis notes and also learn some context points. So right now I'm just learning the translations of the Greek, although I already kind of know it because I've learned it so much, so mainly I'm just testing myself, again just to keep it topped up, because otherwise if I don't keep testing myself I'll forget it for the exam. So yeah, just testing myself using Quizlet as always. After that, I made some math notes on arithmetic sequences, and it's not that hard a topic, but for some reason I just always forget it, and I always forget the general formulae and stuff. So I just made some notes on that, and then I worked on a further maths past paper that I started the other day in class, just so I could get it done. Then after, I had some pasta for lunch, and I even treated myself to some leftover Easter chocolate, this big Lindor egg, so that was nice. Then I did some more biology on human influences just because it's such a huge topic. I ended up getting 2/3 of the topic done today, so hopefully I should be able to finish that tomorrow. But yeah, again, I was just doing Quizlet, typing out the answers. I think I was doing fish farming and all that. Then I translated some Latin stories. So Latin language is the first exam I have after English language, so it's my first exam that I properly need to revise for. So I'm just doing loads of language stuff. So right now I'm translating some stories to get some practice, and I'm making a note of any words I don't know or any words that I have a problem with, just so I can highlight those. After Latin, I did some more English literature, but this time on my poems. So basically what I did is I pulled up my annotated poem on the left side of my iPad, and then I had a blank copy on the right, and I just copied, writing out the annotations. Then when I'd learnt those, I basically tested myself on them by taking away the annotated copy and seeing if I could remember my annotations. So that's just what I do for all 15 poems, and I find it's really good for just learning the analysis and everything. And so yeah, that's how I learn my poems basically. Then I moved on to a Chinese past paper, a listening paper this one, and I only realised after I did this paper and after I marked it that I actually did it for the wrong exam board. I did Edexcel IGCSE, but I actually sit Edexcel GCSE for Chinese, and so on the last page I had to write all my answers in Chinese and I got really confused. But in the actual GCSE you don't, so a bit stupid of me, but I still managed to get an okay mark, so I was happy. But in my actual GCSE, it probably won't actually be as hard as the one I just did, so I guess it's good, because I'm testing myself on a harder paper, I don't know. But anyway, I did a listening paper, and the thing I love about listening papers is that woman's voice who introduces them. She's like, "Hello, welcome to the Edexcel GCSE Chinese." Like, she's my favourite thing about listening papers. I can't wait to walk into that exam hall and hear her voice. It's going to be the highlight of my GCSEs. Then I did more physics because I really wanted to get this topic done today, and as you can see I'm screen recording this just because I was so exhausted and I really wanted to work on my bed, so I thought it'd be easy to screen record, and also because I've never actually screen recorded one of my Quizlet sessions, so hopefully you can see, I know, just a bit clearer what I actually do. I'm literally copying out the answer until I get it right and testing myself. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing, in bed, nice and relaxing. The last thing I did before dinner was a chemistry past paper, and I did a paper 2 just because they're the ones that are an hour long, so if I really rush through it I can get through it in half an hour and then just 5 minutes for checking it. So I did a paper 2 and I was actually really happy on this one. I think I got 55 out of 60 or something. So I was really happy, it's all great, and chemistry is probably my best science. I'm taking it next year for A-level, so I mean, I'm not at the point with my other sciences where I can just do past papers yet, but chemistry, I've finished on my revision, and it's just about, doing past papers and finding the weaknesses right now. Then I finally had dinner, and again, I treated myself to a Magnum Mini. I have to treat myself during revision, otherwise I just get so exhausted and demotivated. But then I did some Greek stories this time, so as you can see, just like Latin, I'm translating some stories, and of course, like with Latin, I highlight any words that I get wrong, or I make a note of them just to make sure that I pick that up in my revision, and then I send them off to my Greek and Latin teacher to mark. So, I have to give a big thank you and shout out to my Greek and Latin teacher, because I literally sent her so many stories to mark, so I feel really bad, but anyway, thank you for marking all my stories. Then to finish my day off, I did some more Latin story practice, because as I said, Latin language is my first non-English language GCSE, if that makes any sense, so I was just translating more Latin stories. And that was my day, so thank you for watching. As always, please leave any comments, suggestions, queries, anything in the comments below. I love reading them and answering them. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend or something. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have any exams or GCSEs or anything coming up, then I hope they go really well. Goodbye.